Typically the first step in a crochet project that's worked in rows is that you'll need to do a slip knot to attach your yarn to your hook. To do a slip knot, you just want to loop your yarn into a little loop like so, and then insert your fingers into the loop and pull up the little tail so that it forms a wee loop like so. Then you can insert your hook into that loop and pull it tight. So again, in slow motion, create a loop, pull the tail through, and insert your hook and pull tight. So starting chain is how you'll start most crochet projects. Starting chain consists of 2 steps. The first step is what's called a yarn over, and this is a step that you'll use a lot in crochet. So to yarn over, you just want to bring the yarn behind your crochet hook and then over the top and back towards you. Next, we're going to pull this yarn over that we've just created through the loop that's already on our hook. So to make this easier, you want to use your thumb and first finger to just pull on your slip knot so that there's enough space around this loop to get this one through. Then you just want to pull your crochet hook down, make sure that the yarn catches in the wee head of the crochet hook, and then you can slip it through this loop and back through. And there's your first chain. So again, yarn over, pull a little bit to give yourself some space, let the yarn catch in the head of the crochet hook, and pull it through. It can be easy to think that your starting chain needs to be really tight, but actually the tighter your starting chain is, the harder it will be for you to work into the chain in your next set of stitches. So don't be worried if there are little gaps in between your chain stitches. That's actually what you want. And if you're really struggling to pull through your hook, your tension is probably too tight and you just want to loosen things off a little bit. In terms of your thumb and forefinger, usually I find you can do about 3 or 4 chains without moving, and then you might want to move up so you've got it better secure on your work. And that's how to do a starting chain. Now when you're working into your starting foundation chain, there are a few different ways that you can do this. So a quick overview of the anatomy of a chain stitch. So on the top of your chain stitch, you'll see that each stitch makes a V. This part of the V that's closest to you is called the front loop, and this part of the V here is the back loop. And then if you turn your chain over, there are these little bumps across the back. These are referred to as the back bumps, and they are the kind of 3 components of a chain stitch. So there are a few different ways that you can work into your starting chain for your first row. And one of those ways is just to insert your hook into the middle of the V so that you go under the back loop of the V, and then do your stitch. If your pattern doesn't specify how to work into your starting chain and you're a beginner crocheter, then I would recommend using this approach, as it's typically a little bit easier to get your crochet hook into the space than some of the other approaches.